Will, however, take this off. I'm also going to admit that I managed to not bring gloves, which won't kill me, but you are so supposed to wear gloves, you guys.
Normally there would be gloves.
Normally there would be gloves. Just because I'm being so bad about the gloves, I'm going to be appropriate with this.
Here's some gloves.
Oh, we got some gloves.
Honey.
What do you? Wow, Leo rocks.
Tony Starlight Room, man. Okay, so this is the reality of it. I don't want to give you the idea that this stuff is okay to breathe in. I've breathed in a shit ton of it, but it's not okay. So we are going to start with our herd here, guys. And I'm only going to do half at a time. I'm going to do half at a time because it's a small batch and I want to make sure everything ends up getting appropriately wet. So I may not need this water at all. Generally, I would only need a liter of water. But in case the room temperature or the fact, and that's important, something I didn't mention, you guys, is that the temperature of the day is huge. So while we were in Colorado, it was really moist in the morning, but by the afternoon, it was super hot, and we had to add water to our mix because the sun was sucking up the water. In the morning, when it was damper, we had less water. So you're constantly adjusting, and this is why I don't say, you know, attempt your first project by yourself. You want somebody who understands when more water and so on and so forth. So anyway, I'm going to now put in about half my lime, and it's this lime which is the whole reason for all of this gear that I'm using. And the gloves. You're good. It takes a village, brother. Okay, so we're going to do some gloves here. And about half the lime will go in, and you'll watch. Anyone who's close to me is going to breathe this in. That's why I have all these other masks. And it isn't good. It isn't good, and it has a taste. By day 3 of hanging out with this stuff, you've got some rashes, and that's if you're not even sensitive. So now I'm going to add half the water. It's okay for me to do this part because I'm doing half in a small batch. Normally we would just add about half the water to the herd first. And then I'm just going to mix it all together. And again, I'm mixing it in. I just want you guys to be able to understand me. Oh, lime is so not tasty. Mixing it in here. And you were mixing cake batter, guys. You want to get into the corners. You want to make sure that every single thing, all the cellulose is being mineralized. It really makes it easier, the concept of what we're trying to do here, when you just call it the mineralization of cellulose. You want to cover every single inch, every square nanometer needs to be covered in the lime in order for the hempcrete to do its magic job, because it's lime that's creating that magical science. Science! Science! Okay, I'm going to add in the other half of my hemp. Now I am going to put the other half of my water in first. Get that nice and wet.
Now I can smell that.
I'm going to hold off getting it all in there. And then I'm going to mix that all together before I put in the lime.
Can I take a picture inside there?
Oh yeah, please, honey. Of course, we'll get a prettier one here. Once it gets a little darker, feel free to check it out. And I keep reaching in from the bottom. Again, this is no different than a brownie or a cake batter. You are wanting to mix it all up, no clumps, and get all of that cellulose mineralized. I think I see that it's quite dry. I'm going to put the rest of my water in before the lime. Keep mixing that up. We really want that hemp to soak up because it has to set right. And now I think I will put in the rest of my lime. Get another big puff of lime here.
Can't wait, huh?
Yeah, rats in California get cancer from that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much less caustic than horrible concrete, but it still ain't good.
And where did you say that is the easiest place to get the lime?
Well, the easiest place,
Or was it no the N?
yes, the type N would be Graymont. The type NHL5 would be limes.us, but The pre-made binder is less expensive than getting those two shipped to you. And for the pre-made binder, I would get that from hemp-technologies.com. And there, that way you know exactly what you're getting. It's much easier and it's much less expensive than making your own. Okay, guys, I am going to take this off just because I can't see very well. And what I have here is an incredibly matted color. So, because we kept some of the other hempcrete in there, so I'm going to add quite a bit of water to it because I've done this enough times to know it needs quite a bit more water. And I'm just going to keep going until I find that shine, that sheen that I know I need. It's getting there, but it's not there yet. Oh, and it's going to start to smell so good. It has come to that hempcrete is like one of my favorite smells. And it's the lime mostly, but mixed with this beautiful farm smell. Yeah, I love it. I don't know what to say. I want everyone to stick their nose in it when I'm done because it's some good business.
Smells like Iowa.
Yes. And a lot of people say, you know, that it smells like, that when they just smell the herd alone in large amounts, pallets of it, it smells a little ammoniated, like even fermented, but it's not. That's just the smell of hemp herd, and it used to be a very familiar smell in rural communities across America, and it's a smell that we're going to need to get used to and then love again.
We're here.
Oh.
Want some more water?
You know, I think we're getting there, actually. It's got a decent shine to it. I just need to make sure that it is appropriately mixed, and then I'm going to do the snowball test for consistency.
I don't think it's snowball ready yet.
Well, we're going to check it out. I think we may also need some more.
I made a lot of snowballs in my life.
Yeah, you have, honey. Yep. Yep, let's get a little bit more in there. Thank you, honey.
Tell me when.
Let's stick with that for now. Thank you, sweetie. And I actually, I'm sorry. Makes me hot.
I don't know about you, but I love it when women call me sweetie and honey and stuff like that, baby.
You know, all of the glasses and masks and whatnot. Let's see. And again, you're just really getting down into the bottom of it because the water will continue, of course, to go to the bottom. And so in order to get this, by the way, when you do more home batches, this with an appropriate drill is the way to go.
Your right arm's going to be huge.
So basically, you're not going to end up with any water at all. It's all going to be
Absorbed in, precisely, and used in that setting process. That's absolutely right. I'm going to try right now.
Go with snowball test?
I'm going to give it a try, man. We'll see where we're at.
All right.
It's true that I am putting this right directly on. Let's say we are still...
Almost, but still...
We are still not totally ready.
All right, so I'm going to do this, and you throw it at me.
Ah!
So you need more water then, or?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more. Do you mind, sweetie? Perfect. I'm going to stick with that, and I may end up throwing in some more lime. 0.2, but we'll see. We got to have it set right. Got to have it set right.
How long does it take to set when it comes down?
Certainly depend. I just do these little bricks here. You know, after 48 hours, you're going to want to take them out of their mold because they'll get moldy.
Right.
But on a work site, really 5 to 6 weeks is a good cure time, adjusting, of course, for the weather, for the climate. That can sometimes be a turnoff, of course, for folks because of that set time.
Like a rain delay, perhaps?
A rain delay, or if it's just you're doing it in a rainy season, or a wet season.
It doesn't allow it to cure?
And it will allow it to cure, it will just take longer. The only climate that you don't want hempcrete in is a frozen climate. The water cannot freeze.
So Alaska, it wouldn't really work?
Anytime you get below freezing, in terms of building it, you wouldn't build it in below freezing. You can build it in not below freezing in a climate that will get below freezing, but the water can't freeze.
Okay.
The water can't freeze. Okay. I'm going with this.
Are you?
I'm going with this for a brick.
Nice.
When I make sample, balls that have to stay in a ball, that's a little bit of a different story. So sorry, you guys. It's very warm.
Those,
Right.
is that the
So now we're going to here they are.
sweaty balls?
These just excellent little brick molds.
Big brown sweaty balls. A big chocolate.
And they will show the tamper.
That's the best Alec Baldwin I've seen.
I just left it last week. With the ghost of heavy winery.
And I'm just going to keep moving from the bottom again because we don't want that water settling.
So it's lime, shiv, and water?
That's it. And this is, and again, not just any lime. Oh, see, I just found a little corner that I hadn't gotten. You got to avoid your brownie batter bunches.
What kind of lime was that again you were talking
This
about?
Body Chanvre is a pre-made binder, so there's type N, there's NHL5. They may add some gypsum or something like that, but it's incredibly small volume in the single percentages. So I'm very loosely getting this into my mold here. Because in real life, we're not into tamping it all down. That just is not going to work.
Well, it just seems like it would bind together, but it's not the case, right?
It will set. Absolutely it will. Dump her in. Oops.
How long does it take it to set up?
It depends. I have a little bit too much water in there, but it'll still set. It will take, we would leave this in this mold for like 24 to 48 hours. But on a building site, it's probably going to be about 5 to 6 weeks, but you always have to adjust for the humidity and the weather, obviously. Now I'm tamping just the exterior, not the interior. Here. And we're going to keep that interior loose in real life. Now also in real life, such as with this brick here, we might have a big timber framing coming up. Oh, hi, beautiful. And in that case, we would be tamping around that timber again because we are mineralizing the cellulose. This. Sorry.
And so do you always rough up your timber?
Yes, you want to
on all
score.
sides?
Score of the sides and in fact the interior timber. This is interesting because this might be a little wet. We'll see how this sets up. Fast is never good, but that's all we can do when we're dealing with a knitting that's over. She loves it.
So as far as
Yeah, this should be okay actually. And we'll just fill this puppy up same way.
he was saying that lifting is kind of a less, but
We're going to build a hemp tree house.
Yeah, it would be interesting, wouldn't it? I mean, it depends on how heavy, right? Certainly lighter than concrete, but
not as light as wood.
yeah, but I'd like to see actually a local builder who's very interested in hempcrete and went to one of our workshops. His uncle is the guy who has that Treehouse Nation show or
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah, so they're interested in,
Interesting.
yeah, trying something out.
Here I was just, making a,
No, we've been talking about
That's
it.
awesome.
We have been talking about it.
someone's always ahead of me, though.
Hey, not always, brother. And hey, there's ideas are a dime a dozen. I get a million ideas a day, and people call me with their ideas like I didn't already have the idea. If I could have had time to implement the idea, I would have.
Right.
So just keep thinking and coming up with your ideas.
Yeah, never
Because
stop.
not everyone acts on them, man.
That's
You
for
just
sure.
have them. They're easy to come up with.
That's what brought me here. It was an idea.
Dig it. I dig that.
Have you achieved optimum Charlie Sheen level?
I think I
Or
have,
are we really
brother.
still at a Martin Sheen?
I'm going with Charlie.
The little Charlie right now?
So how wide is your tapper in your walls then? Is it like that, like 1.5 inches?
No, this is when I explained earlier, this is what I call the workshop tamper,
Okay.
as opposed to a real life. But the real life, it's not like they're that much bigger. It's just that they have a larger block and a block that comes to a tip so you can get into the corners.
Oh, okay. But essentially, you're not going much wider than that in your tapper.
Correct. It's actually not much wider, even a real one, now that you mention it. You're right, because you're just getting, and when you want to get around your framing, you're just...
Right, but you want the center loose.
Correct.
So the breathing.
And we would recommend...
That's the reasoning for it for it to breathe is why you leave the center?
Yes,
Okay.
more fluffy as opposed to pressed down. And the other thing is, not only will you not get your fluffy, breathable center, but you'll end up using more material than you meant to, which is actually can mess with the whole structural design because you're making it heavier. Then you'll get to the top and you've run out of hemp and lime. Which
Does it eventually settle to where it's an even type of
It sits like that.
You don't want it. Yeah, it will
okay.
set just like that.
Okay.
Yep, you want to keep that middle area more able to have that thermal
separated
capacity.
from it so it can take that
That's
absorption?
where
Yes.
it gets its R value. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys hold on for 1 sec? I'm just going to go deal with this.
Yeah, you
I
went,
will be right back.
you went gloveless on us.
You know what? Joy here.
So
Yeah,
shitty.
they don't work very good anyway.
I mean, there's no reason to. Where's the stop button on this thing?
Wanted to get it. But that's a setup too. So.
Hey Russ, how do you stop this? She took a break or whatever.
Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for everybody for Periscope. We're going to take a break here, and Joy will be back with more Hempcrete right after this.